Now on 5, it's down to the last 10 and the 3 judges have to choose the overall winner of the Big Art Challenge.
As you've seen, our 10 finalists have come a long way, not only in distance to be with us tonight, but they've managed to make it through to this stage from thousands of initial entries. So now the tension is mounting. Who will be the winner? Thousands of people entered, but only 10 have made it here to our final in Liverpool. And tonight, just one of them will walk away with our National Art Prize of £10,000. A special People's Prize, voted by you, the viewers, of £2,000 will also be awarded to one of our finalists. Over the last few months, our judges, the critic Brian Sewell, the artist Jane Wilson and the designer Wayne Hemingway have visited London, Cardiff, Manchester, Glasgow and Newcastle Gateshead, viewed hundreds of pieces of work and talked to professional and amateur artists from all across the UK. But they're looking for just one winner. 3 artists from our first heat have made it to Liverpool via our semi-final at the Baltic Gallery in Gateshead. We first saw photographer Michael Vogt and painters Richard White and Alex Kalanescu during a hectic 2 days at Central Hall in London.
The first thing I thought it was a painting. It's photo, isn't it?
It is indeed. This was in old cement works in Shoreham.
Oh, on the river?
Shoreham.
Yes.
On the Ada.
That's right,
yeah.
That's right.
That place is fantastic as well, isn't it?
This comes from a series which I've called Romantic Realism. I'm less interested in documenting than in that beauty of decay.
Is it a real beach? Yeah, well actually it's the Thames. I work very sort of methodically. I have a sort of an image in front of me and then I take it in the darkest shapes I can find and put them in and then I work it out to the lightest ones.
It seems to me that what you've got is the beginning of a good idea, but you need to go further with this.
What I'm doing in my work is consistent. I suppose it's a follow-on from the pebbles. Yeah, after the chat what we had, obviously I evaluated looking at the pebbles and...
You said, sod that, I'm going to go my own way.
I'm going to choose something that would go on my living room wall.
That's not a good enough reason. You're here to do something which is intellectually quite severe.
Why does art have to be intellectually severe? Why can't it please? Well, your art in the first round in London caused quite a bit of disagreement.
Excellent.
I really like this as just something that it's just really nice, but I would imagine there's something quite deep behind it for you.
Yes, it's loaded with emotion, but the point is that in the same way that I don't title them with a expression which is supposed to define how you feel when you look at it, the idea is that you look at it and you hopefully feel something.
Our finalists weren't required to bring completed new work to Liverpool, but the judges did ask to see new ideas or work in progress.
Hiya, good to see you again. Hiya. So 3, all from Shoreham?
Nope.
Not all from Shoreham.
One on the right is from the Czech Republic. It disused 9 in the Czech Republic.
And look at that, I mean, it's amazing, isn't it? It could be from the same building.
Of course, yeah.
This one is the one that's been on telly a couple of times now, hasn't it?
Well, the London Heat, I think. That's when I showed that one.
And have you had any more interest in your work since being on telly?
No.
None. The power of television. So have you brought anything new, or have you got anything new to show? Or?
No, well, my painting is this was like 7 weeks' work every day. This is my best piece so far that I've made. Well, I think it's very representative of what I'm doing at the moment, or trying to at the moment. So I stuck with my guns and I thought, well, I could try and rush a small piece, but I didn't think that'd be. I didn't think that'd probably be satisfactory.
In the first picture that you showed us in London seemed to be so flaccid, so drifting, and it just groans at the emptiness of it. The second picture, there was a kind of tension. Something entirely different, much stronger, had come into it. And this is looking even stronger.
So, Michael, did you think you'd be standing here 6 months ago at the
No
final?
way. I think that's quite incredible that I've got this far.
Really?
Really.
What about you, Richard?
I don't know, I hadn't really thought about it. I mean, I just took each stage as it came.
So, 6 months on, who do you think will win this?
I think it's really difficult to tell. You've got 3 judges who've clearly expressed very different opinions in the past, and it's going to be down to how they feel today.
Talking of judges, what do you think of them?
I think it was quite courageous to get 3 judges like that together with 3 totally opposite views.
2 female artists, Antonia Spowers and Rebecca Kidson, who were among the 100 who came to Cardiff, made our final 10.
It's a habit of mine to watch the sun go down. On Echo Beach, I watch the sun go down.
So, Rebecca, looking at this piece, Sunseeker, just wanted to know what the concept is around it and why it's actually an overhead.
This is like the cycle of work to try and work up to sort of happiness, but it's a cycle that just sort of continues.
I see.
Well, the pieces that I've seen so far here in Cardiff, this is the one that I'd put over my mantelpiece.
Really?
Yeah. Is it meant? Do you imagine it in a kind of domestic environment, or is it just a gallery piece?
No, it's a wall piece, definitely for an interior setting, either domestic or otherwise.
I was interested in that as a piece of art that would look absolutely brilliant above my mantelpiece.
I want something more in art than mere decoration. I want something that nourishes my soul every time I see it. You have pulled the stops out, haven't you?
Well, I did say I did work in lots of different mediums.
Yes, but you're still working in circles. This is not something for Wayne to put over his mantelpiece. It's a piece of sculpture in a very full sense.
Well, it was meant to be the Trojan horse in Troy, devastated Troy, but by transforming the bone into glass, you transform it into myth, if you like, that the story goes on.
So is this the newest work you made?
Yes, it's a piece that I'm kind of been working on for a while now.
Have you found this quite good to do this big art challenge, or has it been kind of...
Yeah, it's made me sort of really think about my work a lot more, and about, I think, quite a lot about the finish. You know, making things...
So actually getting to the point where you don't just leave them at ideas, but you actually complete them.
Well, we first met you in Cardiff, didn't we?
That's right, yes.
Are you feeling a little bit nervous about the final?
Yeah. Yeah, quite nervous.
Is this all quite a big deal for you? I mean, does it matter to you if you win this?
I think it matters to sort of everyone.
I can't really quite see how they'll all agree on one person. I feel that, you know, it might be nice if they shared the prize around because there's so much difference in the work.
Yeah. In Manchester, the judges first met young video artist Chris Boyd and photographer Penny Klepuszewska.
So, Chris, we're looking at this piece called Eat Bugs, which you've shot. What did you shoot on?
Just a mini DV camera.
Mini DV camera, and then you've edited this?
Yeah, all I was doing was taking frames out and just made a time-based animation which just laid over on top of the footage that I took.
It's a self-portrait. I wanted to take a portrait that would maybe give some idea of a psychological state without giving too much away, to maybe suggest some kind of narrative but to not actually give an answer.
I just thought it was a metaphor for things that are coming out from my unconscious, you know, things that repressed irritants and things like that, and I was just confronting him with that.
His work is really interesting, I think we all felt, because he actually had shot it, edited it and created his own sound with it.
Talking to him, it seemed that he was full of ideas and bubbling over, and there was a kind of enthusiasm, the energy there, that I thought if we encourage it, something really good might come out of this.
So finals day.
Yeah.
Are you excited?
Yeah.
Yeah. So what else have you added to this? Have you done anything else?
I've re-edited the wall projection from the semi-final heat.
Do you feel you've moved it on, or is it?
Yeah, I've sequenced a lot, taken parts out of it and re-edited a lot of sound.
So what would it mean if you win this, do you think, apart from 10,000 quid?
It would give me a lot more time to work.
You brought the same one as well.
No, I've brought...
Oh, you brought some more, have you?
It's kind of taken its inspiration from the fact that 1 in 10 elderly people, on average, don't see anybody in a day. Really, the only comfort that they have is sleep, and maybe looking forward to eventually death.
Yeah.
This is kind of the absence, and then you're now looking at the inhabited interior.
On to more important things.
Yes.
What frock are you wearing tonight?
Black.
Where from?
Cheap.
Cheap, that's all right.
Cheap and cheerful.
Still can be lovely though, can't it?
It could.
You guys are looking smart.
Thank you.
You're all ready for tonight's final?
Yes.
Yeah. A little bit nervous?
Yeah.
Yeah? I mean, does it really matter to you if you win this? What does it mean to you if you win this?
It would be great to win it, but I think I've got a lot out of the thing so far, so I feel it's been quite a catalyst towards pushing me a bit further. So
that's great. I mean,
yeah.
Why do you think is that? Because of the pressure and the time restraint? And
possibly the pressure, possibly the way that the work is discussed.
We first met you in Manchester, didn't we? And I know that the judges were pretty keen on you when they first met you. How have you found the whole experience?
Great, actually. And it's definitely improved my work because it's an opportunity for me to do video installation and work on all these ideas that I had.
Coming up next.
I have great difficulty with the idea of a majority winner here.
Let's choose one each then, yeah?
Yeah.
And see what happens.
I mean, there seems to me to be an obvious winner.
I actually wouldn't be unhappy if Brian's choice won.
Ten artists have produced 2 different pieces of work to get to the final of our £10,000 National Art Prize in Liverpool. But they're hoping to find just one winner. Viewers have also voted to decide the winner of a £2,000 People's Prize. Our final 3 artists, sculptor Ed Taylor and painters Vanessa Mustard and Sonny Williams, all came to our 4th heat at the Glasgow School of Art.
It's an image of a person.
It's an image, right.
I wouldn't really call them portraits because they're not necessarily meant to represent the person that they're painted from.
You keep looking at it, it draws you back, doesn't it?
I hated it. I've seen it done so often before, it's so obviously from a photograph. It would have made a better photograph.
Well, I've seen the early episodes, so I'm already kind of inclined to believe that you're not keen on my work.
I like it very much better. I'm always arguing this, that the work of art is not, for me, affected by the ugliness of the subject.
That's interesting.
I like this one much better than in the semi-finals. I know what you were trying to do with the fly, but it seemed to me to be so obvious.
Yeah,
it was a deliberate contrivance.
I titled the piece "The Light Stripes" just basically because
Except the paint stripes.
yeah, and I've been exploring mainly this use of light and colour.
Is it being just literally? I mean, it just looks like the paint. Is it a paintbrush? But it almost feels like the tubes just kind of.
Yeah, sometimes I use the tube and just literally pull straight down.
It's a dysfunctional.
Yeah.
The whole idea is it's a dysfunctional furniture.
The thing I think cries out to be public sculpture in the open air. I mean, it'll look marvellous wet, and it'll develop a patina of its own, as zinc does. It's very odd because when we came out of the door over there, Jane and I were both kind of drawn to it, like bees to a honey pot.
So why is it that the North East has produced so many finalists, do you think?
Maybe it's the air. I don't know.
Is there something in the time that's...
It might be.
Yeah, you've been
Brown
drinking
ale.
it. So this piece, what is it? A series of kettles?
It's a series of steam irons, wax irons.
Steam irons, right.
Yeah.
Made of wax.
Yes, and they're
When you
all...
switch them on, they'll melt.
Exactly.
Oh,
It's
right.
all about meltdown and nuclear power.
We're getting closer now to that big decision, and you can really feel the tension here. To help them decide, the judges have spent the day talking to the artists about their future plans. But have they reached a decision?
I met this guy. That was my first time I'd actually talked to him, and I think he's fun and he's a really nice guy, but I don't see it as a potential winner. That's the piano man and the snooker table man. Yeah.
There is a really shrewd and wry, subversive humour in those things. I would much more happily get rid of
I think, yeah, I think Becky's, you know, not a winner either.
It's difficult because, again, she's somebody who you need to see the work in situ and you need to see it as it was meant to be. And I think it's quite sophisticated.
Richard White and his painted brambles. I think he's very talented and I think he's going to have a long career as an artist. But to me, he's not the winner.
it doesn't really sort of take me anywhere else with the ideas as such, but maybe that's enough.
But at the moment I think he's hooked almost obsessively on this kind of close focus of strong detail, and there isn't really anything else in it. So, out. She ought to go.
Yes, I agree. I think in this particular new work that she's shown with the elements underneath, it's become kind of very twee, really, in a way, how she's presented it. But
right.
Alex basically has given us information to what she did before, and having, you know, spoken to her today, you sort of see where she's taking her ideas.
It's not exactly in the vanguard of painting, and I don't think it's
my favourite.
I don't think it's a strong candidate. The person who has made the strongest impression on me today as having come forward in leaps and bounds is Antonia.
I personally don't see it as a winner.
You don't?
No, there's two out of this lot that I would like to go through to our final bit of judging. It's Penny and Sonny Williams' paintings.
It's difficult, but the two that I would like to see to go through at this point would be Michael and Penny.
I still think that Chris Boyd is something of an undisciplined genius and well worth keeping in mind. And Antonia Spires, with her great leap forward today, deserves really serious reconsideration. I think the fairest thing to do is for us to whittle it down to 3 and each of us stick to our guns.
Well, let's try and let's choose one each then, yeah?
Yeah.
And see what happens.
Right. Antonia, I fear, loses it to the young genius, Chris Boyd.
Sonny.
The decision here is very difficult between Penny and Michael, because with Michael, he is working much more in a kind of documentary tradition, which I think is very familiar in some ways as well. So I would have said I would go with Penny for the unfamiliar.
I mean, there seems to me to be an obvious winner, and it's Chris.
No, that's because you've chosen him. What are you on about? How can you say that when two of us...
No, I would say, if I had to...
I can't believe, like, all these weeks later, that that I actually wouldn't be unhappy if Brian's choice won. But I'm really happy with the 3 that are here.
Yes.
Really happy with the 3. There's nothing that's there that I feel shouldn't be there and doesn't deserve to win. So whichever way, now I'm happy. So you two can argue it out amongst yourselves.
Well, no, we've just said that we're happy.
So we're all just 3 very happy judges.
So who will it be? Sonny, Penny, or Chris? Well, here we are in Liverpool to announce the winner of the prestigious Big Art Challenge prize. It's been so difficult to reach a decision, and today's session was so hard, the judges have decided to split the prize between 2 people. Each winner will receive a prize of £7,000. So please let me invite onto the stage our 3 judges to award the prizes. We've got Jane Wilson, Wayne Hemingway, and Brian Sewell.
Well, this is a people's choice. The people have spoken. Power to the people. We get £2,000. No, it's not Rolf Harris. It is Richard White. The people.
Well, thanks very much, Wayne, for that. And now over to Brian, who will announce the winner of Big Art Challenge 2004.
We've had to make comparisons, really rather embarrassing ones, I think. between garden sheds and video films, between paintings and photography, between performance art and rather more serious things. But we finally came to an anguished conclusion. And if we hadn't, there would have been prize money of only 10,000. As we took so long to do it, we actually persuaded, suddenly, a sort of genie spoke from the back and said, come to a conclusion, split the prize, and we will make it £7,000 for each. Well, if you'd split the 10, you'd have got 5. So, the first winner is Penny Klepuszewska. The second has a feather in his cap, and he has taken his cap off for the first time. And it's young Chris Boyd.
People's Prize.
Yeah, that's right.
That's a pretty cool title, eh?
Yeah, I was pleased with that, very pleased. It was kind of surprising, but yeah, no, I was happy. It's nice to know that people were watching it and voted for me.
It's more than the money, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely.
What is it? What does it mean to you?
So many things, I don't know what to say. There's so many things. Just mixed feelings.
It makes you feel what?
I don't know. I'm just shocked.
You're in shock, aren't you?
Yeah.
Oh God, what a shock! What a shock! I mean, you're near to tears. I am really near to tears. Did you think this was going to be you as the winner? No, I didn't. I'm so happy for you. I'm really pleased, and I'm just made up, totally made up. I'm so pleased for you.
Brian Sewell is back again next Thursday at 7:15 when he celebrates the jewel in the British motor industry's crown, the Rolls-Royce. Next